Hi everybody, Carol here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be making a card that is kind of fallish in the colors at least, and it's using different stamps from different sets. I think they're all Stampin' Up, but this particular one is a stamp set called Thankful Thoughts. It's a very vintage looking stamp set, and a little girl going to an old-fashioned mailbox with her dog, and she's mailing a letter obviously there. And so I'm going to stamp her on this little square or rectangular piece of paper. You can see there are two white rectangles and one orange. They're not exactly perfect squares. I'll have the measurements for you at the end of the video in case you want to make one exactly this size. And then that is VersaFine Onyx Black ink, by the way. And then this kind of random stamp that's just kind of what I would call a filler background stamp, but I really like it. And I'm going to stamp it randomly on this orange piece of paper, kind of pumpkin colored. And later you'll see I'm going to mount this onto some pattern paper, and it has some swirly lines in it and curvy lines, and I just thought they went well together. And so I'm going to stamp that around to kind of fill in, and I'll do the same thing with the bottom rectangle, the white one, but with different stamps. And these are going to be underneath the girl stamp, but still parts of it definitely will show. And I dropped that in the ink pad you might have seen. I'm trying to wipe that off, but anyway, but I want to fill the little cards up so that they will at least be peeking out from behind the girl block. So I used postage stamps. I thought that was fitting for the mailbox there, and they're from different sets. A star. There's a star on the mailbox, and this is a totally different stamp, postage stamp that's much larger, but I don't think that matters. And in fact, I like it because it's different. So I'm going to go back and fill in a little bit, knowing that a lot of it's going to be covered up, but just not knowing exactly how it's going to play out when I end up placing them, and what's going to show and what isn't. Now I'm taking some neutral ink and a makeup sponge and going around the edges. I like to finish off this the white paper with the white edges so they have a more finished look, or a kind of a framed look. And this is Tombow Mono Multi Glue. I'm putting it on now. I've said many times it goes on white, but then when it dries it's clear, and then it becomes repositionable. Now here's the pattern paper I was talking about. I didn't even have a whole sheet left that I could cover this card base with, so I'm putting it down in two pieces, but with all the other pieces that are going to be on top, I don't think you would even be able to tell where the split is. Now I'm also going to finish this off, the front of the card off, with just a very thin strip of black cardstock to match the squares, just to give it a real finished look. And I'm going back and cutting off those pieces that overhang. The first black rectangle goes down and the second one goes down. Now I'm going back to the orange piece, and you'll see each one of these, the black just barely sticks out around the white. It's about a 1/16 to an 1/8 inch larger than the piece on top. And then the girl goes in the middle, and I decided to excuse me, not make it completely symmetrical, but to move it up just a little bit and let it be just a tiny bit off-centered. And there she goes, and lining her up. Now I decided on that bottom rectangle with the stamps, the postage stamps, that I just wanted a little touch of orange down there to carry out the theme. So I just had a very thin strip that I put under that piece, just a little bit showing out between it and the longer black strip. Try to line it up. and then go back and cut that overhang over. In fact, I go back later and cut that off to match the end of the rectangle. You'll be able to see it. And now for the finishing touch, we're putting down the sentiment and a black strip. I'm taking it all the way to the edge, to the right hand edge, just to, again, so everything isn't just completely symmetrical, but a little different. And then the sentiment is thinking of you. I'm going to have, again, just a tiny bit of black showing around the edge of this sentiment and this piece of white cardstock. And when everything gets down, that is pretty much it. And there you have a card that it is pretty much, you make your own background paper except for the patterned paper. And so that no one else would have a card exactly like yours, I wouldn't think. So I hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed it. It's simple, but I think it's very attractive. The colors, I think, are what it is. So, and then here are the measurements for exactly what I used. You don't have to do that, but it is a 4 5/8 by 6.5 card. The black piece behind the girl is a certain size. The black piece behind the postage stamps is a certain size, and the black piece behind the orange is a certain size. I'm just telling you what I did. So thank you for being here. Here are some more shots, some still shots for you to look at it. There will be some more videos at the end if you'd like to look at them, and a subscribe button. Thank you again, and hope to see you real soon. Bye-bye.